Hello everyone, this is Shobhit Jayaswal and today I have a representative from Georgia with me. First of all, I'd like her to introduce herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Ketevan. I'm the Director of International Relations Department of Caucasus University, and it's a great pleasure for me to be here and to have an opportunity to have a conversation with you and just answer all your questions you might have.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask a lot of questions that basically Indian students or Indian parents have. Because that information is coming from you, so of course it's a very authentic information and very precise information that you might spend hours finding, but through ma'am we can get that information a lot quickly. So ma'am, can you tell something about your university first of all?
So Caucasus University is a private higher educational institution in Georgia, one of the most prominent university, not only in Georgia but in the region as well, which was established in 1998 through the US government in cooperation with Georgia State University, Atlanta. That is why we have very special partnership with US universities. From 2004, we obtained status of higher educational institution, and we are offering 3 levels of education: bachelor, master, and PhD level.
Alright.
And also at this stage, we have 11 schools, 11 faculties, and we run 55 educational programs under these 11 faculties. And most of our programs at our university are offered completely in English for local and for international students.
Alright, so ma'am, you said that the course is offered in English to both local and international students. So do our Indian students get the opportunity to study with the local students as well at your university?
Thank you very much for this question, because this is like main concept what we have here at our university. So we do not have separate groups for local and for international students. If the language of instruction is English, it means that it's English for everyone. So Indian students will have an opportunity not only study with Georgian students, but also study with international students coming from more than 35 countries around the globe.
Alright, so like you mentioned at the end of the sentence, you have students from more than 35 countries, including students from India. So why do a lot of students select to come to your university in particular?
We are offering high quality education, high quality services, and intercultural and international environment on campus. These are main priorities for us, and we are happy that international students do understand importance of this direction, and that's why they choose Caucasus University as their university.
Thank you again for that answer. But a lot of students and Indian parents have that question that what is the facilities that are being provided within the campus? So can you tell us about the campus of your university?
Yeah. So CU locates in a historical campus, which was initially built in 1909, and it looks like a church. And I would like to ask you to just put the link of the virtual campus tour on our official webpage. We have the virtual campus tour, so you can check all the facilities, all the spaces, auditoriums, library, cafeterias, and super modern and very, very good campus we have in Tbilisi, in the heart of Tbilisi. Of course, it's very important to have practical spaces for students, because we, as a university, we are practice-based university, and we have at least 1 or 2 practical labs for all educational programs we offer. And especially for our MD program, we not only have special labs in campus, but also we have partnership with more than 25 hospitals, the best hospitals in Tbilisi. So our MD students have an opportunity to do their practice in the real clinics with real doctors and with the real atmosphere.
That was an amazing answer, because my next question would have been about the hospitals where Indian students can actually go and practice. So like you have already mentioned, your university in particular, CU, it has partnership with more than 25 top best hospitals in Georgia. So students who are thinking that what would be the practicals like in Georgia, so like ma'am already mentioned that you can get the opportunity to go to more than 25 hospitals if you are coming to study here. So what other facilities do your university provide? For example, Indian students who are going to a new country, these students are mostly 17, 18-year-olds. So is there any integration program for students who are coming there? Because a new country, first time away from family, first time away from home, it's obviously a challenge for students.
Yeah. Of course, that's also a very important question, and we acknowledge the importance of the integration in the university and on campus, because the fact that we are saying that we are one of the most internationalized university means that we have additional activities for them to somehow make their student life even more interesting, because studying at our university is not easy. I would say it's quite difficult. So that's why we try to offer different activities for them to somehow combine these two important directions for them. So we have specific department, students events and alumni relations office, which is actually responsible for all the extracurricular activities we organize for international students. So we have buddy system, we have some traditional events such as welcome parties. Also we have some student unions, clubs, students of government, and many more. So we have very, very active social life for them, and we usually organize many kinds of cultural days for them in order to somehow present their own country to local and to other international students as well.
So that's a lot of activities that Indian students or even international students can participate at CU. Now, as I was talking about Indian students, can you give us a brief idea of how many Indian students are actually studying at CU?
Yeah, so I will start with general numbers. So in total, we have up to 8,000 students, and 25% of them are international students. And at this moment, we have up to 800 Indian students, and most of them study on our MD, One Cycle Medical Doctors program.
All right. So you already said 800 Indian students, so that's a big number. And having so many Indian students, of course, means that whenever a new student is coming to study in CU at your university, so they would always find a lot of Indian students as the seniors. That would be a very big helping factor for them to settle down also. Even though there are a lot of activities, a lot of clubs, a lot of integration programs that your university is offering to all the international students, and particularly Indian students also are coming there. So of course, all this helps anyone who is stepping out of their home for the first time to settle down in a new country in a much more easier fashion. One thing that a lot of Indian students and parents are concerned that, of course, going to study outside of India is a challenging aspect in itself. But it becomes more challenging if you have to speak a new language. So your English is very fluent, your English is very good. And I've been to other countries as well, but your accent is a lot easier to understand when I compare it to other countries where I've been to or I'm sending Indian students to. So talking about English as a language, so in Georgia, are locals able to speak in English?
Yes.
Or can you tell a little bit about that?
That's also a very crucial issue, and the main questions international students are asking to us. So I will start with our university that I have already mentioned that the language of instruction is fully in English, and also all operation process at Caucasus University goes in English. So it means that 100% of our staff members speak English language, so they will not face any problems or language barriers on campus while receiving services or lectures or whatever. As for generally Georgia, so I would say that most of the people, especially elder generation, speaks very good English, which means that students will not have any problems with the language. However, we provide classes for international students. In Georgian classes, it's elective. We think that it's always interesting to learn new language, especially when you are going to stay there for 6 years.
6 years.
But it's not mandatory, and it's not necessary, of course, to know Georgian language. However, we support this process from our side.
Alright, so that was very good and precise information again about the usage of English as a language in Georgia, especially by the locals also, and especially like you said in your own university, everyone, let's say all the staff members or the teachers are able to communicate with the students in English. And I think as an Indian who has traveled to many countries where English is not the official language, it is a challenging aspect if you don't know the local language. But like ma'am said that English is spoken very well in Georgia, so I think a lot of students will find it very easy to go there. My next question would be about the safety, because safety is always a concern, especially for parents who are thinking of sending their daughters to any country outside of India. So can you tell us something about the safety, security in general, about the people in Georgia or even the international students who are coming to Georgia?
So Georgia remains one of the most safest country in Europe. You can double check this information everywhere. And especially Tbilisi, as far as there are many international students, most of the universities are in Tbilisi. So the safety is also another very important reasons why international students choose Georgia as a study destination.
Right.
This is our strength.
Right.
How to say.
So I don't think safety should be a concern for the parents because, like ma'am said, and like she said, that you can double check it. Tbilisi or Georgia is one of the safest countries in the entire world. So for Indian students also, those who are already studying there, I can tell them from their own feedback because I'm in communication with a lot of Indian students studying there. It's a very safe country, and students, girls, boys, whosoever who wants to go to Georgia, it's a very safe country. One more thing that is going to start very fresh. So a lot of people who are thinking about going to Georgia, they of course are concerned about the travel time also. But now soon there would be direct flights from Delhi to Georgia and Tbilisi. The duration might be 4 to 5 hours. So even before that, there used to be one stop. So those who are planning, it's going to be a lot easier for you to travel to Georgia also because direct flights are going to start. So now I'm going to ask about the question that everyone is asking about the NMC regulations that came out in 2021. A lot of students might even not know about it. So these rules are 54 months should be your course duration. You should have 1 year of internship. And most important rule is the rule regarding the license, that you have to get a license to practice as a doctor in that particular country. Also, only then you will be allowed to sit for the licensing exam in India. Of course, you are already aware about the NMC rules and regulations. So can you tell us about how Georgia or your university is fulfilling those rules and regulations?
As far as we have many Indian students, we always follow the regulations set by NMC. This is very important, not for only for us as a university, but as country as well, because at this stage in Georgia, generally, there are more than 25,000 Indian students as well. So, which means that we have to follow all the regulations and we have to double check all the updated rules daily basis. So, as for the newly established and newly published regulations, so after completing the program in Georgia, students will receive the qualification of medical doctor. So they can work in Georgia as a junior doctors, which means that they do not have to pass any license exams in Georgia in order to get seats for the license exams in India. As for the internships, so after completing the program, so we are issuing the two separate official documents. So one is diploma with official transcript, and another is the certificate of an internship with all the indications about the hours, ECTS, credit allocation, and everything. So I can say that Caucasus University fulfills all the rules and all the regulations set by the government of India, and of course we will continue to do future as well.
So I think what you mean to say is that in case there are any new rules that are formed by NMC, so your university CU will always be keeping an eye on that, and will try their best to follow all the rules and regulations that might come up in the future by NMC also.
Exactly.
Okay. My last question would be about transfer students, because we all know that Ukraine and Russia, they have a very tense situation right now, and a lot of students had to leave their studies in between, and many of them have already joined your university, Caucasus University. So in case there are students who want to take transfer right now also in 2023 September intake, so what would be the process for that? Is your university providing transfers?
Yes, our university, of course, admissions are open for transfer students as well. We have quite extensive experience working with transfer students from Ukraine, and especially nowadays when the situation is very difficult. So from our side, we have the admission procedure set specifically for the transfer students. So I would like to suggest all the applicants to stay in touch with the associates and the partner agencies in order to receive the proper guidance in these regards.
Right. So thank you, ma'am. I think you have given us very precise and very, very good information about Caucasus University in Tbilisi in Georgia. So I would like to thank ma'am And I would like to thank everyone who has watched this video. And in case you are looking for admission, get in touch with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.